All right. Welcome, everybody, to our Monday 2 o'clock class. I will remind you once again, you are on your own for muting and unmuting your microphones. So please mute them while we are having our the fingering and the chords so that we don't compete with everybody's microphone going back and forth. Our song for today is Where Do I Begin? The love theme from Love Story. That's back in the 1970s, if you remember. Wow. Amazing how fast time goes. This is a popular song published in 1970, and it was first introduced as an instrumental in the 1970 film called Love Story, and you remember who was in that. They actually wrote a first set of lyrics. Who wrote this? Carl Sigman and Francis Lai. They wrote a first set of lyrics, and the lyrics were rejected by the movie studio. Okay, so Paramount Pictures absolutely rejected the lyrics. So they just had to do it as an instrumental. Later, they did get a set of lyrics going, and Andy Williams eventually recorded the new lyrics and took the song to number 9 on Billboard's Hot 100 and number 1 on the Easy Listening chart. And after having the first set of lyrics rejected, Carl Sigman, he was angry, he was mad, he was marching around his room, he was throwing things, and his wife was telling him, calm down, you got to get over it, you know, you're writing for the movie, so calm down. Well, he finally cooled off, and then he said to his wife, well, where do I begin? And that was it. And it was like, oh, I've got it. So that was how the lyrics actually got written and got published. Now, Henry Mancini also released an instrumental version, and that charted at number 2. Tony Bennett also did a version the same time that Andy Williams did his, but for some reason, his version never really charted. And you just never know why sometimes the music goes and sometimes it doesn't. You know, I don't think it has anything to do with talent. I think it has to do with just how fickle the public is and what they feel like hearing at the time. 6 weeks later, Roy Clark, remember him? He did a country version of this song. So, you know, if you ever feel like doing Where Do I Begin in country, you can say, well, Roy Clark told me I should do it in country. So that would be absolutely fine as well. This is a song that is in the key of A minor. A minor. How do I know that? Because it's the last chord. 99 times out of 100, your last chord will tell you what the key is. Now, why do we need to know what key the song is written in? One reason only. Which chord do I start my introduction with? Okay. Sometimes you'll have a minor chord at the beginning and a major chord at the end, and we're going to talk a little bit later about relative major and minors because the bridge of this song actually does something very cool. I'm going to play it right now on Song Setup. Song Setup, and I want you to follow along. There is a little bit of a roadmap, but nothing too hard. Song Setup comes up to Roses at 72 with the altar style. And it comes up with a lot of strings. So I'm going to start with an A minor introduction. See what you think. That's not my favorite background, by the way. It does work. I actually liked it better on Love Ballad. Love Ballad, because then I could do a few more things to it. It also works on Bossa Nova, believe it or not. Theater Romance is very beautiful. Write the Songs is very nice. Mellow 16-beat or easy 8-beat for those of you that have Freedom 3s. Any of you with the easies, 10s, 4s, 2s, smooth, any of your smooths is going to be absolutely fabulous. And I'm sure a bunch of you can find a whole bunch of other things that are absolutely wonderful. Keep it at about 72. And yes, the minor chord does give it a lot of drama, and that's actually pretty cool. Okay, the roadmap, nothing too terribly tough. If we take the first page, at the bottom of the first page, you have a bracket with a 1 in it. That's your first ending. At the end of the first ending, you have 2 dots, a thin line and a thick line. Those are your repeat dots, and they are sending you all the way back to the beginning. What you're normally looking for is the dots that go in the other direction, but if you can't find them, you assume that you go back to the beginning, and then that's where you would start to pick up verse 2. With her first hello, she gave a meaning to this empty world of mine. Oh, there'll never be another love, another time. Oh, it's so romantic, if you remember the movie. Love means never having to say you're sorry. Oh, my goodness. Yes, it does. I thought that was one of the dumbest things they ever said. All right, the second time you play this, you're going to stop right before the first ending, jump to the second page where the second ending starts. And it's an open bracket, meaning that you're just going to continue. And then you play the bridge. She fills my heart starts the bridge. That's the part that's a little different. And then you keep on playing, and you finish the song. And it goes back to the first part of the song. The top of page 315, top last measure, is where it actually goes back into the first part. So you're starting in A minor. The second verse is in A minor, and the last part is in A minor. What happens to that middle part? Here's your music theory lesson. The middle part goes to an A major. Oh my. So if you have songs that the major and minor, now it's not going into the key of A major, it's just going to an A major, which is the parallel major of A minor. If it's the same letter and it's a major minor, it's called parallel. It is actually going into the key of C, which is the relative major of A minor. Now, why do you need to know that? You don't, unless you plan on writing some songs. But it does help you sometimes with intros and endings as to which one works the best. We'll talk more about that when we have a song that deals with that. But what actually is the difference between an A minor and a C major, and why are they relatives? Why are they sisters? Well, the C major is the only scale, the only major scale that is on all the white notes. And there is a formula for it, but it's just the do, re, mi scale. The only scale in the majors that are on all the white keys. All right, the A minor scale, guess what? It starts on A. Wow. It's the only minor scale that is on all the white keys. And that's why they are relatives. Now, why do you need to know that? Well, if you ever go on Jeopardy, now you know the answers. And that's pretty much the only reason you got to know that. If you take a look at your single-fingered chords, if you play a C, you're going to play it with one finger. If you play an A minor, you play it with 2 fingers. But what are the 2 notes? C and A. Oh, the C is in there. So that just gives you a real easy way to find relative majors and minors. For example, if you have an F major, The relative minor is D minor, and guess what that second note is in that D minor? F. So that keeps them connected. That you don't need to know until we actually see it in another song. But that's what's happening, is it's going into the key of C major in the bridge. And there in line 2 of the second page, you have a very common chord progression in the key of C, which is D minor, G7, C. Oh, okay. Then it does bring you around back to A minor, but then again it goes to D minor, G7, C. And then it brings you back to an E7. E7 is the lead-in chord to bring you back to the A minor. So then it goes back into the A minor. Now, if you take a look at the lyrics, it also goes into a major feel. Everything about the minor is I have no answers. I know I'm going to need her. Oh my goodness, and it hurts. It's love that's sorrowful. But in the bridge, she fills my heart with very special things and angel songs and wild imaginings, and she fills my soul with so much love that anywhere I go, I'm never lonely. So that's the happy part of the song. So it's in a major key. All right, let's talk about some chords. Did I add a lot of them? No, but I do have a couple of them, and especially in the bridge, that I think you're going to like. Let's go to page 1 in the minor section. Line 3. First measure, the A minor chord is good for 3 counts. Beat 4, which is after you play the A half note, put a G, gorilla. So it'll be A minor for 3, G for 1, F for the next measure. All right, that's the only addition on the first page. Let's go to page 2. At the top of the page, put an N dot C dot, no chord. No chord for she fills my. You're just going to play those notes. So remember how to make a no chord. It's any 3 notes in a row, any 3 consecutive notes in a row. Smash chords are not ladylike, girls. So you want to just do any 3 notes in a row. And I like to use my thumb on the crack of the F and the G and my pointer on the F sharp because that's where my hand is. But any 3 consecutive notes will give you that no chord. All right, make that A on the top line. Make it an A major 7. A major 7, A capital M-A-J 7. It is 2 notes, G sharp and A. It's a jazz chord. It's very beautiful. The major 7s are always the letter -1. Now, in the last measure there, you have an A7, which is G and A. Put a box around it so you remember to play it. The second line, third measure, make that C a C major 7. C and B as in baby, or you can put the B on the bottom. You can do B and C if you wish. You guys are in an advanced class, you're allowed. Third line, make the F an F major 7. Again, it's the letter -1. F capital M-A-J 7, and your 2 notes are E and F. You may play the D minor, or you may substitute a B minor 7 flat the 5th. It's a 4-fingered chord, and it is B as in baby, D as in dinosaur, F as in fish, and A as in alligator, in any order. B, D, F, A. And that's it for that page. Let's go to the top of the next page. Top line, second measure. Make that E an E major 7, E capital M-A-J 7. If you subtract 1 note, it's D sharp. So your 2 notes are D sharp and E at the same time. And then in the next measure, you have an E7, which is the letter -2, and those two notes are D and E. Put a box around it so you remember to play it. Line 3. There aren't 3 measures. Second measure, 4th beat. The 4th beat is after you play that A half note. Put a G, gorilla, just like you did on the first page. At the bottom of the page, you have a no chord. First measure, put a no chord. Again, that's for drama. And she'll be there. And then play the A minor, and then you may hit your ending. And it will be very nice. Okay. Any questions up to this point? Remember, any of the chords that I add are 100% optional. You do not need them.
Can you do the chords on page 1 again?
Yes. The only thing I did was add a G. In line 3, first measure, 4th beat, which is after you play that A half note. Beat 4 is a G gorilla. That's the only change in chords that I made.
Got it. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing great. All right, let's do some fingering. C5. Now, some people don't like fingering. It's time to go mix a drink or go have some coffee, and then you can come back in a couple minutes. C5, E1, E1. C5, C5. E1, E1. C5, C5. E1. Put an arrow on this next F. Just put a little arrow on it. This is just your heads up. F is a 3. So you're going to play your E with a 1. Then you're going to skip a finger and you're going to put that 3rd finger on F. The last E of the line is a 2. And the next line is D1, 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 B5, B5. D1, D1, B5, B5, D1. Put an arrow on the next E, make it a 3. The last D is a 2. 3rd line, C1, 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 A5, A5, C1, C1, A5, A5, C1. Put an arrow on the next D. Guess what? Make it a 3. C2. B1, 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 G sharp 5, G sharp 5. First ending. After that held G, put a check mark. That means you're going to lift your hand and reposition it. A3, B4, F2, E1. Let's go to the second page. Second ending. After that held G, the blacked in quarter note, put a check mark. We're going to lift our hand and reposition it. A3, B4, G sharp 2, C sharp 5. After that held C sharp, check mark. D3, E4, A1. Second line, F5, A1, D3, A1. A1, B2, B2. You know that's the Frank Sinatra note, don't you? 2B, 2B2. Oh, stop it. D3, F5, D3, E4. I miss you guys in person. This is hard doing this on Zoom. G1, E5, G1. 3rd line, G1, A2, A2, C3, E5, C3, D4, B2, D4, B2, C3, D4, E5, A1, C2, E4, F5, G1, A2, C4. Last line on that page, C4, B3, C4, D5, F1, E2. Circle it. You're crossing it over. E2, F3, G4, B5, A4, A4. Here you have an eighth note triplet. That's 3 beats, 3 notes in the space of 1 beat. G3, F2, E1. Top of the page, D sharp 2. Circle it. You're crossing it over. F sharp 3, A5, F sharp 3, G sharp 4. C5, E1, E1, C5, C5. E1, E1, C5, C5, E1. F3. Put an arrow on that F, make it a 3. That just means unconventional fingering, heads up. E2, D1, 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 B5, B5. Third line, D1, D1, B5, B5, D1. Put an arrow on the next note. E3, just heads up. D2, C1, 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 A5, A5. Fourth line, C1, C1, A5, A5, C1, arrow on the next D, make it a 3, C2, B1, 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 G sharp 5, G sharp 5. Last line, after that held G sharp, put a check mark. A3, B4, G sharp 2, A3. And that's it. Questions about fingering? Y'all got it? Okay. All right. I actually liked this better on love songs, which comes up under ballad, love ballad at 72. And I liked it on, there are a lot of presets that work. Preset 8 gives you a piano. Now, why did I choose a piano? Because originally Henry Mancini did this as an instrumental, and he did a piano version of this. Then there's a flute on the bottom, and you'll see where I make my changes. And then at the end of the song, I go to number 9, which gives me orchestral. That's your big strings, and I'll play that on the last page. And then I'll go back to number 8 for the very last line. Why? Because sometimes drama, you build the drama and then you bring it all the way back down. Okay, so where do I make my changes? Play verse 1. Then for verse 2, when you go back, I'm just going to add a string to my piano to fill it out a little more. At the top of the second page, when I do my no chord, I'm going to reach over and press the alter style so that my background changes up a little bit for the bridge. And I may or may not go to the bottom keyboard. I may stay up here, but I may go to the bottom keyboard and play the flutes. I can't remember if I did that or not. Then at the top of the page, the third page, where you have the A minor chord right before that, you either want to add the AOC or go to number 9, which is going to give you big orchestra strings. And then again, at the bottom of the line, she'll be there. I changed back to rhythm preset 8, so I'll have my piano. So see if you can hear where I'm putting in the alter style and where I'm changing my sounds. So Love Ballad with number 8. Okay.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! Questions?
Good job. Good job.
Yeah. Now, that ending really is nothing more than just a little coming down on an E7, on an E7 scale. If anybody wants that, I did get that. I did not make that up. I wish I could take credit for it. That's Henry Mancini himself just doing a, that's a piano version of it. And when I was a kid, I had to learn that, so it was actually kind of fun to just throw that in. But if you like it, let me know, and I'll write it out and scan it over to you.
Dawn,
Yes.
Dawn, did you say you played a flute at all? I thought you said you played
I
a
didn't
flute.
play it.
The flute.
I should have gone down on She Fills My Heart, but I didn't go down there. I forgot, and I just stayed up on top and played lots of fill-ins.
On my number 8 under Love Ballad, I have a trombone.
So do I.
No.
Yep, I do too.
Under
And
Love Ballad?
Yeah. And then you have to go to number 5.
Are you sure you're on Love Ballad?
Yeah,
Are you on Love Ballad or Love Songs?
Love Ballad.
Under Ballad?
Yeah, under Ballad. Number 8 is piano and strings / trombone. And flute is number 5 with chimes. So you have to hit 5 and go down the flute then.
Seriously? Okay.
Yeah.
That makes no sense, but all right.
Okay,
They did change these occasionally. That's, Bill
Okay.
Curry's option to do that.
okay, just so I know.
Yeah.
could I go
But, use the sounds that make you feel good.
So could I go to number 5 and
Sure
play
you
on
could.
the keyboard then?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah.
Dawn, what is AOC on a marquee? I don't see that anywhere. Is that the same as MCS Plus or something?
No, no. MCS Plus is for your left-hand chords. Okay? AOC is for your right hand, and it does for your right hand what the MCS does for your left hand, what the easy button does. You have to go to you should have a button called Harmony,
Yes.
and Harmony brings up a whole page.
Okay. All right. I gotcha.
Okay? And
I know
on
what
your
that is.
page, it'll say AOC on that page.
I thought it was missing a special button somewhere.
Nope.
Okay. I know where it is under Harmony. Thank you.
Okay, perfect, because that's what it is. AOC is not Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
Ah.
It is any old chord. No, it's actually automatic organ computer, but it's much easier to remember it as any old chord because it plays the full chord with one finger. Now, how does it know what chord you're playing? You do have to play the left-hand chord because it depends on the notes you're playing in your left-hand chord.
Oh,
So if you're not playing the right chord, then AOC is not going to sound right even though you're playing the correct notes. So you do absolutely have to, it depends on your chord. You have to be playing the right chord for the AOC to sound good.
Dawn,
Yes.
you could play a duet in here somewhere, couldn't you? Like on the third page?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
where would you do that?
It's the same as AOC, only instead of having the big full sound, it would just have just the one extra note. Absolutely. Yeah, it's another form of harmony where it's just adding the one note.
Yeah, Joanne plays a duet because she's got John to help her.
He's a real big help, let me tell you.
You guys are silly. I'm not going to make a comment on that one. I really do miss having everybody in
We
class.
miss being there.
So, yeah. The
I
social
miss all
media
of us playing together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Playing together was fun. Listening to all you guys play was fun. So, yep. But it is what it is for right now. Do you want to play it one more time and you guys go to your instrument and play
Sure.
along with
Oh,
me?
yeah, I want to follow what you're
Okay. I'm going to slow it down.
Where would you put the duet in?
It's verse 2, the bridge, just anytime you have a new section, adding something or changing a sound is what you need to be looking for. See, and that's good because you're all thinking like arrangers. That's what arrangers do. Is they
Style
go,
in there, you could put duet instead.
what do I want to do in this section? So we're going to play this at 64. Do not put on a background. Just put on your easy. Make sure you are muted. Make sure your little microphone is muted. And we are going to play Love Story. I'm just going to count to 4, and we'll all play together. If you only want to play one hand, that's fine. One, 2, 3, 4. Rest. 2, 3, 4. Go back to the beginning. best. Wow, sometimes those minor intros and endings give you some nice surprises, some nice things that we don't
Dawn,
know here. Yes?
Dawn, on page 3, how long does it last? You changed the sound there. What did you
Yes.
do?
I just went to preset 9, which gave me a bunch of orchestral strings.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Anytime you can do a one-button push is a good thing, or move your hand from up and down, or add some strings with your tabs. You know, anytime you can do a one-button push, that's, unless if you have to do more than one, then you either have to save your presets, or you have to do like a drum solo or a lot of FX so that you have time to reach up and push 2 or 3 different buttons.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Excellent. For next week, what do we have? Now I know I don't, let's see.
Very
Oh,
thought of.
very thought of you. Nice.
That's nice.
I have lots of chords, so bring a sharp pencil next week. Okay.
Oh,
I'm sorry, what is it?
very thought of.
Very thought of you.
On page 316.
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
I have to take my daughter to the airport at that time. So could I get it from you later on for the next day?
Yeah,
Okay.
just give me an email and I'm more than happy. I try to answer every single email. Ramon, are you sure you sent an email to me? Because I don't remember getting an email requesting that from you.
Yes.
you- Your
Yes,
email.
I did.
Yeah.
Are you sure you sent it to me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sending it again now.
Okay. I know
Okay.
because I accidentally sent an email this morning to Lonnie in delivery, and I accidentally sent it to Diana Weisskopf and did not realize. So she got an email that said, please bring some Black Lowry songbooks the next time you're in the store. And so I had to go back and go, wait a minute.
Could you give us your email address again?
Yes, the email address here is 5028 at FletcherMusic, all one word, .com. Absolutely. Email me. I do answer all emails, even if it's just to say hi or thank you or give you a smiley face.
Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. I love you guys, and I do miss all this. And I am working on Name That Tune, so hopefully Robert will be up for it. So he may say, no, you can't do that for the whole company, but we'll see, because I think that would be
Yeah. Just say, oh, yes, I can.
Yep.
Thank you, Dawn.
All right, and here's your commercial for the day. We are in the middle of our 115th birthday month, and there are some fabulous specials
Tam.
going on. And so if anybody would like, if
Hi,
anybody would
Tam.
like to pick up on a special instrument, please come and see me, email me, call me, come to the store if you want, and we'll take a look at stuff because it's fun. All right.
Okay, cool.
We love you.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Love you too.
Thank you. Love
Yeah.
you.
Thank you.
Miss
Bye,
you.
You guys are the greatest. I love you.
Bye.
Thank you, Dawn.
Bye.
Bye.